Hello, everybody, and welcome to the POAP Community Call number 16 on this lovely Wednesday evening for me. It's April the 27th, 2022. Again, it was a wonderful day outside for me, and I hope it was a wonderful day outside for you. Of course, now we're inside nice and cozy, and we're going to talk about POAP. My name is Mr. Mojo, and I'm here with my friends. First, I would like to introduce Superphiz. Say hello.
Hello, welcome.
And I would also like to introduce JENetics. Hello.
Hello, GM, wherever you are in the world.
Of course, welcome back, Logic Beach.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here.
And coming back for the first time in a few weeks, hello, Defi Dude. Good to see you on the show again.
Yo, sup?
And we have some special guests up here today. We have Magdalena, and I think I said your name correctly this time, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you did, but I'm also half deaf, so it doesn't maybe doesn't matter.
That's why your volume was at 200%. If you're half deaf and your volume is at 200%, you can hear 100%.
And then, of course,
yeah, I have a technical issue with my ears.
and and then, of course,
that's fixable.
we have Hanni coming in from POAP.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about on the show today, but of course we give a POAP during this community call, and Logic Beach is going to explain how that works.
So what you'll want to do is stick around there is a time limit. I think it's like 10 minutes. You want to make sure and do not deafen yourself. Don't leave the call and then come back. Just listen, enjoy, and yeah, you will earn that POAP. Hang out in the community calls channel if you just want to text type, and we can chat in there.
Yes, that's very important that you brought that up. All of the chat is going to be in the community calls channel here in the Discord. And to reiterate, you just want to hang out with us. Make sure you don't deafen this call. That's hitting the little earphones that are in the bottom left of your Discord. You don't want to leave this call, and you just want to be patient and allow us to give you the POAP at the end of the call. So, now let's get into the show. So, one of the things that I want to talk about during this show is some sort of phenomenon that's been going on with POAPs lately, and that is getting things introduced into the metaverse. And so, the first thing that I want to talk about comes from the POAP newsletter. And it's about POAPs as party favors. There's people who are getting married in the metaverse. So there was an article on the Daily Beast that were describing weddings in the metaverse. They say, while you're not able to become legally married in the metaverse, there are people who are still turning to technology to be able to create, organize, and have a wedding virtually. And these individuals are creating digital avatars and landscapes in places like Decentraland. To quote Klaus Bandish, who is the owner of Just Moi Weddings in Hawaii, and I probably said that incorrectly, unfortunately, but he said, it's going to be a revolution, very popular. And this man, he has been organizing in-person beach weddings in Hawaii since 1998. He states that he has been flooded with emails for his services within the metaverse and already has 16 metaverse vow renewal ceremonies scheduled for this year. The argument for this kind of ceremony lies within the costs and control of what you can do at the wedding. Having a wedding online can be far cheaper in terms of the venue costs, the outfits that you're wearing. You don't have to worry about catering because it's digital. And transportation of guests is basically left up to them having an internet connection. And global events like the pandemic that we were in wouldn't cancel your plans either because, again, it's online. This person, her name is Jordan Rose, and she is the founder of the Rose Law Group. She is somebody who had helped two of her friends to celebrate their 14th wedding anniversary, and her firm was actually able to provide the legal services for the ceremony. And through the Rose Law Group, this couple was able to place the prenuptial agreement, which included the avatar's digital assets like wearables and digital wedding gifts, and their metaverse marriage license on the Ethereum blockchain. And so, now that we've kind of talked about something that's very new, which is weddings happening in the metaverse, here's my question or my topic of discussion. With a virtual wedding, would you have one? And if you did, what would your metaverse wedding look like? And what would your POAP look like? And how would you distribute your POAP? Anybody would like to start?
That was like 19 questions.
Well,
I wouldn't
Superphiz.
have one, but I would officiate one.
Well, Superphiz, if you wanted to renew the vows with your lady, would you consider doing it in the metaverse?
Oh, so it's interesting you say renew. So I probably would not get married the first time in the metaverse because we're kind of traditional. And I do not think that my wife would be impressed by that. To be honest, I probably would not renew my vows in the metaverse at this time. I think it may be more likely 5 or 8 years down the road. It's just not. It's not. I don't know the right way to say it. It's
Fair
not
enough.
mainstream enough that we'd be
Mhm.
comfortable with it.
Do you believe it's just not ready yet?
No, I just think marriage is like this traditional kind of thing anyway, and it's kind of so it's a little bit like when you hear people talking about mixing religion and POAP. Like it's weird to me. It doesn't. I don't really get it yet. That's not to say it's wrong. I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it sort of comes down to being responsible with how you want to integrate POAP into your event. I feel like integrating a POAP into a wedding, even a real life wedding, would be actually really cool. And whenever I get married, I planned on it. But having a virtual wedding, I feel like that's also something I wouldn't necessarily want to do. At least not yet. Especially since, how are you supposed to legally show that you're married? Are you supposed to be in the same place, but you're just also doing it virtually? Or how is that supposed to work? But these groups, like Rose Law Group, they're trying to figure things like that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think if you get married and don't give a POAP out, you probably didn't really get married.
Yeah,
Like-
that's very true.
So is it now
you know.
proof of marriage protocol?
Proof of marriage. Mm-hmm. Pomp. Oh, it's a pomp.
Pomp.
It's pomp and circumstance.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm not even looking for a new protocol. Like I just a wedding without a POAP, you can't really even know that it happened.
Yeah. POAP or
how
it
do you
didn't
know?
happen now, right? So instead of PIX or it didn't happen, it's now POAP or it didn't happen, right?
Definitely.
What if you sell your POAP? Are you divorced now?
No, it just means you no longer attended, obviously. No, I'm joking. But if you did have a wedding POAP, what do you think it would look like? And how would you distribute it? Would probably be the better question. How would you want to distribute your wedding POAP? I feel like I would want to do it with an IYK device, right?
I was gonna say I'd use an IYK. I don't think there's a better way.
True.
You'd have to be on the dance floor to earn it during the reception. That's how I would do it.
Yes. What is your criteria for your wedding POAP? Is it just showing up, or do you have to do something special?
Ooh, I think I would make it a little bit gamified. I think I would have a quiz, and you would have to answer a series of questions to unlock the POAP.
About the bride and groom.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, I hope you were going to say that. That's actually really cool. That's a good idea.
What if there was like a wedding bingo card, and if you got a bingo, you got the POAP?
What would the bingo be though? Like
Whatever you
drunk
want it to be.
uncle
Yeah.
falls during reception.
Yeah, right. No, you're able to write whatever you want. It's a blank slate. You're able to write whatever you want, and if you get a bingo, you get a POAP, right?
I love that because when you know a couple well enough, you're like groom is going to get so drunk he falls off the table or something. Like you can predict those events.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Drunk on what? It's online. The alcohol is digital.
Your digital avatar will be drunk.
I could see people putting down really obvious stuff on their bingo card, like marriage lasts at least as long as the wedding does. Like check, that's there's a free.
It's just asking for trouble. It's just asking
Yeah.
for trouble.
No, I don't think it'd be that extreme, but I think it's an interesting concept and something that we're definitely going to see advance in the future. More people are going to
Definitely.
want to do their real life events virtually, and Hopefully, as a party favor, they'll want to give out a POAP for attending.
I had a very themed wedding. So, from the aspect of being able to throw like an extremely themed wedding, a metaversal wedding is super exciting.
Okay, wait. Are you saying like an IRL wedding with a metaverse theme?
No, like
Oh, okay.
my IRL.
You had me sold for a minute though.
So I had a speakeasy theme. So our wedding was in like there was a room that didn't have any windows. It was super super dark, and I was like, "All right, fine, we're going speakeasy theme." So it was a black and red wedding, and the only thing that was white in the room was the groom and I.
Wow. You're the only ones
Yeah.
that stick out.
Yeah. So and
That
it
does
was
sound
all
really cool.
yeah, so all speakeasy themed, 1920s music and
Can we see your POAP?
Yeah.
I got married not before the blockchain, but it was almost 12 years ago.
This
I
is no
apologize,
excuse.
y'all.
I'm
I'll have
kidding.
to make
Are
one.
you sure?
Here.
Are we even sure that you got married?
I'll make one and backdate it. Okay. The power of Photoshop.
But all right. So let's stay in the metaverse a little bit. We're actually going to turn our way to gaming in the metaverse in a way. So there is this new company, and hopefully I'm going to pronounce this correctly. It is POAP in gaming. It is called Pixelynx. It's PIXELYLN, Pixelynx. Shrug. But they are offering a POAP that will unlock new worlds of opportunity for early adopters. So, Pixelynx are presenting a Metaverse and Web3 Day at the International Music Summit Ibiza. And basically, tomorrow at the Destino Paca Resort, founders Deadmau5 and Richie Hodden, as well as some others, they're going to discuss, quote, how to navigate and harness opportunities of Web3 in the metaverse, from NFTs to DAOs to monetization. And on the IMS Ibiza Summit main stage, they're going to have 7 hours of content with guest speakers representing a few places and companies: Audius, Coachella, Eminent, EQ Exchange, Friends with Benefits, Moda DAO, The Sandbox, Serenade, 720, Volta XR, and more. And I have a quote. It says, quote, everyone is talking about the potential of the metaverse and Web3 to transform the music industry, said Ender Poole, which is Pixelynx's CEO. The program we have pulled together at the IMS Ibiza Summit will help to demystify this new frontier and show artists and their teams in the industry at large how to take advantage of everything the metaverse and Web3 have to offer, end quote. Pixelynx will host a Web3 clinic at the event, where they're hoping to help onboard attendees with a crypto wallet and then help them properly register to receive a Pixelynx POAP. And the holders of this POAP will be considered an early adopter and will, quote, they will be granted long-term utility benefits, including priority spots on guest lists, ensuring early access to NFT drops, and invitations to exclusive future events by Pixelynx and various partners. And so now that we know all of that, and how some very famous musicians want to actually incorporate POAP into their business, what I want to ask you is, how cool is it that Pixelynx, they're not only using POAPs that give benefits to their users, but they're also making sure that the attendees are being able to have the knowledge and the capacity to be able to receive that POAP. Let's discuss. How cool is that?
Yes.
Very cool.
Ooh, Niantic will be there, just so you know.
So does anybody
I only
know
Niantic from Pokemon. That's the same thing, right?
yes, I do believe
Yes.
so.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that kind of makes sense because from like Niantic made Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go is really just like a metaverse layer over reality.
Mhm.
I think they're pretty well suited to be doing what they're doing, or at least partnering with people doing things like this. Cool.
Yeah.
Does anybody know more about this Pixel Links? From what I understand, it's supposed to be a mix of music and gaming in a metaverse. I was reading about it, and it seems pretty neat. It's very early stage. It's definitely focused on the brand power of people like Deadmau5, and it's really being pushed. There's a lot of nice art being used for all their things. Their assets, their graphical assets, are really nice. To be honest with you, you can tell it's very professional, and that they're trying to actually get something out there that people will want to use.
Yeah, for sure. Very fancy.
I just looked at the landing page, and I'm like the last person who would consider themselves a music enthusiast. I take long car rides and like realize I haven't even been listening to music the whole time. Like that's how I am. So for me, it's like I don't know. I'm kind of curious how is the music gonna mash up with the game? Like, are people gonna play this game because they want to listen to music, or is it more like a game and then like the music is a part of it? If that makes sense, like if I want to listen to music, I just kind of want to throw on some headphones or something and listen. I don't want to be playing to experience that music. So I guess I want to learn more to see how this
I'm not
works.
sure. Not sure how they would see the convergence, but I have seen some implementations where it's like you're playing a game that has music in the background, and depending on the actions within the game, it kind of affects the music a bit. Usually, it's something pretty basic, like just a tempo. The music either speeds up or slows down with the gameplay. I can definitely see more twists being put on that, but yeah, I'm with you. Usually, you're one way or the other, or you want a game with your own playlists or something like that. I'm not sure how they foresee that being married into one thing.
Although I do think Deadmau5 is a very good person for that. It's electric. Well, I guess electric maybe isn't the best or the actual genre, but you can't see like 90s rock or something probably being in a game that speeds up and slows down because it's like a singer. But Deadmau5 definitely can work that in. I think it'd be cool to see how they do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, looking at their image, it has him like flying some type of Star Wars like spaceship type of thing. So like it's a racing game or something. I have seen some other music games where it's kind of like Guitar Hero, but with electrical stuff, where you have to kind of just hit symbols on a screen or objects on a screen. So maybe it's something like that where you're driving this starship and you're going back and forth on a track trying to hit certain keynotes.
I feel like this is way too well produced for anything that I can be interested in. Like I'm only drawn to things that are like, no CSS and like flat text on a screen. So this is incredible.
Is it too mainstream for you, Superphiz, already?
Well, so I would almost say it has that mainstream feel, but it's not. So I believe it like it's definitely it feels very likely to happen. I would pre-mine this.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, has anybody clicked on the music verse option in the navigation? They have like some awesome landing page for this.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. They even have a demo, but I guess you have to like connect Discord maybe or something or sign up. So it's not letting me play, but they do have a teaser. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
Very nice, well put together page, I must say.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's impressive that they care about people getting their POAP so much that they're willing to have people sit down, explain what they need in order to get this POAP and what the POAP will do for them in the future and why they should have it. It's like another way that helps spread POAP around and make sure people know about it. And we talk about utility of POAPs a lot on this show, and it just goes to prove that people want to be able to take these NFTs and give them use. And it's really neat to see that more and more people are trying to incorporate that into real world services, or I should say more services that are led by people with prominence.
I feel like we're getting really close to an it's happening moment with POAP where like It happened with Bitcoin and Ether, where like people who you didn't know before, you kind of meet them and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know about POAP." Like I feel like we're just getting really, really close to that moment.
I agree. But okay, Superphiz.
Yeah.
You have a few topics on the agenda today. I'm going to go ahead and let you take over and talk about them. What do you got for us today?
Ooh. What do I have for us? Am I starting with Ledger Nano S? Is that me?
Yes, that is you.
Cool. So you guys know about Ledger Nano S Plus. You may not know. It's the newest version of Ledger Nano that has been released. It's kind of a neat device. And POAP has teamed up with Ledger to create a Genesis edition, and the first 10,000 orders of the Ledger Nano S Plus received. If you ordered from the from the Ledger site, you actually got a POAP for being an early adopter. I, however, bought mine from Amazon on pre-order and did not get the right one. So
What?
it turns out all of the mints are now minted, and I'm too late. So DeFi Dude, if you can hook me up with that, I would be so appreciative.
I missed out. I was just more surprised you bought a ledger on Amazon. I'm a little
Yeah,
shocked.
same.
Okay,
I was
well,
going to bring that up too.
here's my thing. I heard about the leak like a long time ago. I guess a lot of people lost some data on Ledger, and so I sort of felt like um, the ledgers coming from Amazon come through the Ledger store, but they are they're actual like ledgers, and so I figured I'm getting the same quality product from the same vendor through Amazon, and so it felt like the right way to buy. I don't feel bad about it at all. Tell me I'm crazy.
But you wanted your
That's
POAP.
fair.
Well, I didn't know that method wouldn't get the POAP. I'm okay with that. Like, so this is the Fizz philosophy of life. Someone else got it, and I'm happy that they got it. I didn't have to be the one to get it. I don't need everything. I'm happy that other people were able to get it. So that's good. Right?
But yeah, I think it's neat that they decided that they wanted to give their customers a chance to get a POAP for using their product. It's unfortunate that you, Superphiz, were not able to do the correct method to get it, but I do think it's neat that, at the very least, there is somebody out there offering a POAP for purchasing their product and using it.
Yeah, the real story here is that Ledger recognizes the value of POAP and felt strongly enough about POAP to distribute a lot of POAPs to early buyers. So I think that's awesome.
I'm surprised they don't have first class integration yet.
What do you mean by that?
Like being able to go on Ledger Live and see your POAPs within that. I believe the only way is to go through their like it's like a plugin view where it's kind of like an iframe to view the POAP scan. It's not a real integration. You're just kind of visiting. It's like a browser window within Ledger Live. It's not a true integration, but it would be nice to see your POAPs within Ledger as you are your balances.
I'm kind of always like, you have to start somewhere, and so they're acknowledging the value of POAP, and so maybe a next step is a first class integration, right? Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah, that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Thanks to Ledger for that partnership. I'm a big fan of Ledger. I also use some other hardware wallets, but Ledger is a fantastic product. So the next thing is Kevster here. Kevster.
Oh man,
So
He may not. It's
so
1 in the
cool.
morning for him or so.
come on, Kevster. So Kevster, and so he has a group. I do not know who everyone in his group is, but I know that he released today he didn't release. The Play Store accepted the POAP Meet tool, utility, whatever. And so if you have an Android device, you can go to the Android Play Store and search for POAP space meet. And someone may actually post that in community calls. And it's so awesome. It is what we first kind of talked about as like POAP dating, but essentially, when you both have POAP meet, you scan the other phone, you're then linked up, and it shows you all the POAPs that you have in common. And from there, you can be like, oh, we both went to DevCon, or we both are fans of some product or whatever. So I think it's a really exciting way, especially when we go to conferences, to like you're stuck with people, and some of us have difficulty kind of meeting new people, and you're fishing around for something to talk about. And so using POAP Meet, you can really quickly have a common foundation. So I think that's really awesome. So shout out to that team, and I hope everybody gives this a try. Um,
I
so yeah,
wonder
that was. Go ahead.
I wonder with POAP Meet, like it's cool. I love this idea, but as someone who hates downloading apps on my phone, like downloading the POAP app was already big enough struggle for me. Like, so I wonder if this is something that could eventually be worked into like one master POAP app. You know?
Yeah, I believe that's the end goal plan. But with this being in beta and dealing with some technical challenges with the current official POAP app, I don't believe that'll happen right away. But I believe the end goal will be to merge them.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And so that was I get one more actually. I'm sharing one with Logic Beach, but okay, so this is my alpha, and I debated with my friends today, like, how far do you share this alpha? So Onion DAO is it's an initiative by Mentor, actually Mentor. He actually is a employee of POAP as well. So Mentor saw the need to improve access to Tor for people in areas that have limited communication with the outside world. And so uh, Mentor is very open about like his plan is to incentivize people to start up Tor nodes using software that he created. It is like one copy paste in a VPS, and you're pretty much instantly running a Tor node. And so what that turns into is every month he's going to deliver a POAP to those people for running the Tor node. And when they feel like it's mature enough, he's going to use those POAPs to deploy an ERC20 token for Onion DAO. And so he believes that that will be an incentivized token that people who value Tor will either like buy or give value to, so that people who run these Tor exit nodes are sort of supported for participating. And the reason it's kind of a big deal, like they've been live for about a month, and they have almost 3% of all Tor exit nodes now. And so I kind of see this reaching critical mass pretty quickly until the whole Tor network is essentially operated by Onion DAO. And so, like, I kind of think that there are some people who know about this, and they're like, we shouldn't tell people because we want to get as much of these POAPs as we can. But I see things from another side. I see things that the more people who participate, the faster this reaches critical mass, and the more valuable it is to the world. So the
Sure.
places you can find out more about this are Wholesome Crypto has a interview with Mentor. If someone can post that in there. And hey, Hanni, can you tell us more about Wholesome Crypto? Because it's just a good segue, real fast.
Yeah, sure. So Wholesome Crypto is a podcast run by one of my friends from my childhood, Rudy. And there's too much toxic behavior going around online in general. And crypto isn't excluded from that. So his podcast is a way to bring to light little bit of some wholesome content, make that available. And I gotta be honest, I'm a horrible friend. I've only seen one episode, so
What?
yeah, I know. It's hard to find the time. Um, so I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure of the topics.
Can I tell you,
I
like, I don't
Yes,
miss them
please.
now. They're my favorite thing. Well, not my, yeah, like I love them. He just interviewed Jeremiah Nickel from eFinance last week, and he had Mentor on. Well, Mentor before that. Just a lot of like really interesting people. And I guess
Paul Brody.
Paul Brody, yeah. I
Superphiz
did
is on
one.
there.
Colfax did one. Logic Beach did one. Hello, Logic Beach.
It's a
Yeah.
Just
really
like,
great guest list.
yeah. So it's funny. I'm partial because I've been a guest, but I do like a lot of the guests. So, Wholesome Crypto is definitely worth checking out. It really, it kind of reminds you that we are a positive space. We're not here just. Not, I'm not here to make money. We're not all here to make money. Some of us are here because we want to make the world a better place. And I really feel like Rudy does that. And Mentor also contributes to that through something like Onion DAO.
For the topic of the podcast, the guests could not have been better.
Yeah, he does a. I can't compliment him too much because he picked me, so it's like, you know, it's weird, but yeah, I like
There's
it.
no bias there.
We listened to like 3 or 4 episodes on our drive back from ETH Denver after meeting him. It was actually really cool. It's a good podcast, I'll say it. I had fun doing it, and it's also a lot of fun to listen to. Those stories aren't something you hear a lot in crypto. Like he's really talking to people, like the people behind Ethereum and this whole space. It's really neat.
And that's the fun part, seeing the person behind the, I guess you could say, personality that you're typically familiar with, and getting to know these people at a deeper level. You know what drives them, like that.
Well, and the cool thing is, it's not like these famous people. It's not, everybody wants Vitalik. It's like normal people who are just engaged in the space, and that's what makes it really valuable to me. Like I love the famous people; they're great, but there are a lot of us who are just normal people who spend our time doing this, and that's really what I'm interested in.
I've really enjoyed this show so far. Have we talked a lot about POAPs? No, but we've talked a lot about important stuff.
What are you talking about?
No, we're
Everything.
definitely
We talk
talking
about
about POAPs. Yes, everything
wedding
that we're
POAPs,
talking about
Onion
all
DAO
leads to
POAPs.
POAP.
You get a POAP if you go on the Wholesome podcast.
Yep.
You do. That's right.
Yeah, trust
true.
me, we wouldn't be talking about it if POAP wasn't involved.
Yes.
Okay.
very true.
Okay.
Very true.
So
If you
that was
if you want to get,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want to get more back in line with POAP, I do have an integration I would like to share.
Sure.
And I haven't demoed this yet, because I'm not on my quote unquote crypto computer, but it is ethpass.xyz. So ETHPASS.xyz. I'm going to post it into the community calls channel. And what this essentially is it's integrated directly into Apple Wallet and Google Pay, and it allows you to prove your ownership of your NFTs so that you could use it at physical events for entrance. You could use it for event tickets. They're the process of building out their use cases, so I'm sure it'll grow. But I thought that was very nifty. It seems like it has a very clean user experience, which is nice to see that becoming a more emergent thing right now, where developers are releasing polished products rather than what we've been typically used to the past few years, where it's kind of like a half-baked demo, and then even as it's gets built out, it's still kind of not a great user experience. Whereas the apps that we're seeing nowadays coming out are more like the top tier user experience that you typically expect from a Web 2 app.
It's actually really awesome. In Amsterdam last week, there was some meetups where it was like an NFT meetup, and everyone was like, "Okay, so how do we prove this? Like, can't just show a picture of an NFT, or a POAP." I mean, yeah, you probably aren't stealing a POAP, but you never know. It's very hard to prove it quickly, I guess, on your phone. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I'll say at ETH Denver, going to the Buffycorn meeting, having to show the person at the door my Buffycorn was kind of a hassle. It's like, how am I supposed to show you on my phone I own this NFT? And I'm just trying to tinker through my phone, and I'm trying to get it, and the guy's like, look, man, you're trying so hard to show me this, I believe you. And he just let me in. But yeah,
so token proof is
you can go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but token proof is another similar one that is currently live as well. It doesn't seem like it could do as much, and it seems like there's a little bit more set up for an issuer. Again, this is speculation. I have yet to have tried this out personally, just from looking at the pictures on the page. That's how it seems. But it seems to fit a similar use case, so that you can show a QR code on your app that proves your ownership, so you can get into events.
Really cool.
That's really cool, and this does work. It works directly with POAP. I'm kind of like tempted to try this locally. Is it free? It looks like it's a.
Yeah, it is free.
Oh, cool! I'm interested in checking this out.
But all right, Jen, you had a few topics that you wanted to discuss during the show today. I think now is your time. What do you want to talk about this evening?
Yeah, we were talking about earlier about how soon we will be talking to people maybe on the streets and they'll have heard of POAPs. And so I found just a few things that refer from like the normal world, quote unquote, if we're calling outside of Web3 normal, haha, as POAPs, or referring to it. So one of those things was that academics at Cornell Tech and SUTD published a paper on NFTs for art and collectibles and included the discussion of POAPs. So I think that's really cool. I am going to publish the academic paper. Boop, boop, clicking. Boop, boop, clicking. There you go. So this is pretty cool. The fact that POAP is being included with the NFT big boys, because a lot of people, like somebody in the comments earlier, say that other organizations or other groups, projects are giving out POAPs, but at the same time they're making fun of POAPs, like they're baby NFTs, and I'm like, I don't know about NFTs or baby NFTs because there are people out there hunting them down and seriously upset if you don't get specific POAPs. Just as upset if you don't get your NFT drop that you were expecting. And not only that, but they're actually, selling these things, whether or not that's something that we want to bring up at this discussion or not. So the fact that other institutions are also recognizing that is pretty cool. Fidelity is another organization that is talking about POAPs in the same breath as NFTs. So Caitlin Condon, the head of marketing channels and emerging platforms at Fidelity, discussed POAPs in an article on Fidelity's new metaverse experience. And there's an article. Let me post the article.
I like baby NFTs. Yeah.
Yes.
If POAP's going to be considered a baby NFT, then call me the babysitter.
That's very true.
I have this idea that if you're truly in a superior position, then it doesn't matter when people like lob attacks because it's not going anywhere. Like, sure, call us whatever you want. I love it when people attack Ethereum because I'm like, we're superior. Go ahead and say whatever you want. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm still gonna use it.
Yeah, exactly. And to prove their point about their metaverse experience, Fidelity had a POAP at their Decentraland experience. So yeah, Fidelity is in the metaverse. They have a Decentraland experience. So you can read that article, check out that POAP. And then the third one, now you do have to have a subscription to unlock this full article. However, there was an article about copying link URL, pasting, boop, boop, about the NFT collections emerging as the next big digital brands, and it mentioned POAPs. Now we know that POAPs are already being dropped and coveted by certain projects. We call them projects over here. We don't call them brands, right? Atom Bomb Squad has some of the best POAPs I've seen. In fact, when I was perusing the events page on POAP, when I turned in the POAP for today's call, I saw an Atom Bomb Squad POAP that they dropped that made me giggle. Cool Cats dropping POAPs for the first time. So welcome Cool Cats to the Cool Club, finally. Just saying. We are being included as part of these NFTs, journeys, and stories. And I love this. I love this.
So when we talk about NFTs collections, let me try to say that one more time. When we think about NFT collections being digital brands, I feel like POAP really fits into that mold because when you really think about it, yes, POAP is this protocol, but they really are treating themselves as a giant brand of certain types of NFTs. They are a brand of NFT that you get whenever you attend something or do something, when you're able to solidly prove that you have done something that meets the criteria for the POAP. And honestly, I feel like POAP is definitely one of the strongest brands in the NFT space. I mean, I know that we're all on this call and we're biased, but doesn't it really feel that way? I feel like when it comes to POAP, just POAP itself, it really is kind of pure and like good-hearted and good faith, right?
I might say wholesome.
Right. And so it's really nice to hear that when people want to talk about NFT collections or they want to talk about how these collections are able to be brand new brands, for them to be able to say that POAP is right there with them is awesome.
I'm just wondering when Fidelity is going to start handing out POAPs when you create an account with them.
Yeah, you should get a POAP whenever they give you a different level of options trading or something, right?
Soon.
It's one of those evidences of like POAP making you more of who you are because I'm like, shoot, if Fidelity's going to give me a POAP for setting up an account, maybe I need a Fidelity account.
Maybe I should just buy a few stocks here and there just to get my POAP and see, just hodl and see what happens, right?
Wonder when there's going to start being POAP addiction groups. Like, hi, my name is Superphiz and I have a problem.
Dude, we're literally the hosts of the show. Why do you think we host this thing?
It's just a coping group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going on this addiction since POAP was like one employee and like 2 years ago. So yeah, it's a little rough, but I love it.
But all right, Logic Beach, I have you on the agenda tonight as well, talking about Giveth.io with you and Superphiz. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. Tell us about Giveth.io.
Hold on a second. I'm eating pizza.
Eating pizza?
Yeah.
Delicious. What kind
I'll
of
steal
pizza?
it anyway. So Giveth it's Giveth.io. It is a kind of a public goods site. And the neat thing is, so you get a POAP I think it's every week or every 2 weeks. They have giving cycles, and they just finished their 8th giving cycle. And so if you go to Giveth and you support any of the projects, even if it's with like $1, then you kind of get a POAP back. It gets really more interesting and complex because they have these things called giving streams or Giveth streams, where like you can stake Giveth tokens, and then I don't know if it's every week or 2 weeks, whatever, you get a kind of a ration of your own Giveth coins that you can then give to the community. So essentially, if you organize it right, if you kind of put a little bit into Giveth, then you'll get givebacks every couple weeks, and then you can share those givebacks and get another POAP. And it's not even like POAP farming. It is just getting a POAP for giving to valuable services. And so Logic Beach, actually, his wife Brittany runs a program that I've kind of been trying to get them to integrate with Giveth.
Did integrate, and we were accepted, and we went through
What?
verification.
What?
It's yeah, it's up on there now. I didn't say anything because I need to what's the word for it? Like fortify it a little bit. I just want to make it look a little better, and then I'll announce something on Twitter, or we will. But yeah, I actually donated to the give back so I could get the POAP. I posted it here in the chat. I was like, I want that POAP. So if you guys haven't heard of Giveth yet, it's similar to like Gitcoin, except for it seems to have a pretty IRL angle. Like there's a lot of I guess what I would call charities, except for I feel like what you're donating to doesn't have overhead. A lot of these things are just like direct to the people actually making good change in the world. It's really cool. You should check out that link and just look at some of the projects on here.
Wait, until you link yours, we're gonna keep talking about this till you link Make the World a Better Place.
Yeah, give me time.
I've been trying to guess the URL. I can't figure it out.
Hold on.
Which to Giveth?
The URL for Giveth is in the chat right now, but if you're looking for Make the World a Better Place, come on. How do I get there? I found it. Okay, that's not what I want.
Well, and one of my difficulties, I do absolutely love Giveth, and it's actually created by Griff Green, who Griff is about as OG as it gets. He is a part of the original Ethereum deployment, and then he was also a part of Slockit and the DAO in 2016. But they're definitely like a really high quality, valuable project.
So
This is awesome.
I created this. It looks like the art that I wanted to use needs to be flipped upside down so the colors are up top. But anyways, it's pretty bare bones. I put like what we do on here, and I actually one of the questions they asked when I was setting up this Giveth grant was to like, what would you do with the income or like the funds that go into this? And that was actually a perfect question because it actually forced me to sit down and come up with like 2 or 3 really cool ideas of things that we can do with Make the World a Better Place that I haven't really put like the mental energy into figuring out. But yeah, I have a list of some cool things that it's definitely going to turn into in the future.
The link has been posted.
I'm donating now.
Nice.
Donating now. You hear that? Live on air donation to make the world a better place.
So you'll get a POAP from Giveth for being in, I guess, what would be like their 9th
That's right.
window. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want
POAP farming opportunity right here, everybody. If you want an extra POAP, just donate to make the world a better place on Giveth.io, and you get another mint for your gallery.
We literally cannot stop you from doing this.
please, no.
Yeah. Oh no. What am I supposed to do if you donate to my project? But okay, Superphiz, I have you down for one more thing. You wanted to share
Oh, really?
a POAP discourse story, I believe, or did I misinterpret your
I was
message?
no, it's great. One of the overarching purposes of this call is to talk about healthy POAP distribution, and I just wanted to send a positive vibe out to the POAP curation committee, to their discourse, because I screwed up a POAP delivery, and I was like, instead of emailing someone and trying to get special treatment, I'm just gonna fill out a ticket on the discourse. And I was really happy. Like it took probably 10 hours and the problem got resolved and filed. And I was just really happy. Like it's great to know that discourse support works like it ought to. So I was just very proud of that. And so thanks to the team for doing that.
Amazing. How did you mess up your distribution method?
I'm playing with this project called EV Mavericks. And one of the things we did in EV Mavericks was fractionalize an NFT of a EV Maverick, and I was giving a POAP to everybody who participated in the fractionalization, but I exported the ERC20 holders list incorrectly, and didn't catch it. I did. My quality control was making sure that I was on the list, and so I uploaded the list wrong, and so I had to edit it, and they were just really helpful about updating the delivery for me. I was
Well,
very happy.
yeah, at least they were able to get it done. That's what they're for, right? And to do it in
Yeah.
only 10 hours, too. A lot of these places, it takes days to get anything fixed, but they were able to get it to you same day. I mean, sure, it would be maybe at the end of the day if you did it in the morning, but that's still a lot better than a lot of other places. Like I said, a lot of other places, you're waiting 24 hours, 48 hours, but they were able to get it to you within the day.
Did you say it
It
was
was
like
like
a delivery? Is it live? Superphiz?
Yeah, it's a POAP delivery, but I assume you're using Earnify. I really like EARNI.fi. If you're using that service, then they will notify you anytime you're eligible for a POAP delivery.
Oh, check it out. Thank you. I definitely am subscribed to Earnify, and they do give me POAPs every now and then that I forget. Like, I don't even know about. I get a POAP, I'm like, oh, cool.
Right? That happens to me every now and then, too. I'll go on there like once a month, and it's like, you have 2 POAPs to mint. And I'm like, sick. 2 more POAPs for my gallery. Let's go. But okay, Defi Dude, speaking of putting POAPs in our gallery, you're finally back on the show to spotlight some POAPs for us. What do you have to show us today, or this week, I should say?
Hey. Yep, I do have some POAPs to share. Most of them, I will say, are to do with last week's festivities in Amsterdam, but for good reason. You know, POAP was everywhere. Lots and lots of POAPs were distributed. So, first one I want to highlight. Actually, I couldn't find it on POAP Gallery for 2 of them. This was one of them. So I'm just kind of screenshotting it out of my own wallet. But it was the proof of Rave, the one for attending Rave, and this one I'm highlighting just because the design I like. You know, it's the little Ave ghost. He's DJing at a rave. You know, it's got the pink, purple Ave colors. I just thought it was cool. You know, they took the time to customize that to the event, and they did a very good job, I think. Another one I want to highlight is just taking a picture here. And by the way, we are posting these in the hashtag community calls channel. This one was brought up by a friend, so I'm highlighting it. And, you know, the POAP was designed by our very own Logic Beach, who's in the call now. It's for the HodlerCon community call, which is, you know, an upcoming event in Waikiki, one of those two, Hawaii, in June. I don't know if someone want to take a 30 seconds or something to talk about it. If not, move
Yeah,
on.
so basically it's going to be an event in Waikiki, Hawaii. We are going to be going to a resort area, and we're going to be hanging out and talking about Ethereum and talking about whatever we want to do, and there's going to be POAPs everywhere, and we're going to have fun. You can go to hodlercon.com in order to see information on that, and you can follow the HodlerCon Twitter account to get information every single day about the event. Right now, they're actually posting facts about Hawaii every single day, and it's really cool. So if you want to get some Hawaiian facts, be sure to follow HollerCon on Twitter at HollerCon.
I do want to mention that the people that are putting together HolderCon, however you want to say it, they have a lot of really cool events planned too. Check out the website. Actually, I should have had a link ready to go right as I was talking about this. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. I've watched these people create this over the last, like, I don't know, something like 8 months, and it's really coming together. I'm really excited for it.
Awesome. I was just checking out the website and I'm like looking at the little pixel NFTs as well. I was like, very well done.
Yes,
That's
the
cool.
beach bum NFTs.
Yeah. I wonder if those are going to be used then, like if I get a pineapple, am I supposed to like wear a pineapple on my head when
That's
I
up to
go?
you.
I don't know. Yep, got a few more here. Actually, one of them is kind of a self-promotion. Good reason though. I'll explain. But it's you've met Defi Dude at DevConnect, and let me post a picture. The reason I'm highlighting this is because they were offering some of these at the POAP booth. You could design your own. So basically, like there were these IYK cards. If you know about them, maybe on previous calls they were discussed. And even if you didn't have a card, you can get a QR. But basically, you sit down with the POAP team and create your "You've met me" at DevConnect because I was too lazy to do it at home, I guess. And yeah, it was a really cool experience. But I was like, how am I going to design this? And so I sat with the POAP team. They used some application or something, and I got to like pick and choose my sunglasses, my shirt, and I was actually wearing a green sweater at the time as well. I didn't even realize, and I picked it, so it worked out. But I just thought it was really cool, to sit down with the team, and there's a lot of these that were floating around. So yeah, I wanted to spotlight that one, and I do have. Actually, I think the rest of them are all I met someone at somewhere. So one of them is this guy named Patricio Worthalter. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of him, but I wanted to highlight his just because it was really cool. He said it was themed after something, and I cannot remember. Like to me, I'm getting like
It's
like
after
Batman or
Batman.
something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know. I think he used something else other than saying Batman, but I don't know. It has to be something Batman. So it's really cool. It's animated. I couldn't share it. So if you can find it, go look. It was cool. The next one is another person I guess we know. And maybe that's why I pulled it aside because, I know what Invetica looks like. And I just thought like this personifies him very well. It's like it is him animated, but then he's even got his hand up like that. It's just like, I don't know. He put time into designing that. I thought it was cool. And I'm a sucker for like you've met someone POAPs.
It's very Batman-esque.
Yeah, can I just say that that Unvetica, he does amazing asset work for any project that he works for. And so highly respect that man. And whenever I saw his POAP design, I was like, wow, he really did a great job. I absolutely love how he nailed down his look in his POAP. It's like spot on.
Yeah, I just wanted to second that. I wanted to say the exact same thing. That's a really good caricature. Like it doesn't even need the name on there.
You know it's him. You know it's him.
Pink outfit. It's iconic.
The next one I want to
know
highlight.
You guys have covered that. I do love Invetica. I just wanted to get my 2 cents in.
I'll share one more, I guess. I do have like a few for like teams, but it's just you've met team for certain booths. Pretty much every booth in Amsterdam had their own POAP, which is really cool that products are doing this. But the last one I want to actually highlight is I met Remy Roy at DevConnect, and it's another design. It's a cool design. I like it. But what was really cool about this one is he actually gave me like a metal token. Like it's a very high quality, metal like coin. And so I just thought that was like so cool. Like I was sitting on my table even because I dumped my backpack out last night, and I was just looking at it. I'm like, I want this. Like I just got my IYK card, and I was like, I'm super pumped. I love it. It's super awesome. But then I'm like, Remy kind of one-upped everyone with a IYK card, you know? Or with a metal token. So, now I got to look into getting one of these, and yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
I'm
really cool.
trying to upload an
Can,
image of the
can
token
I
for
tell you
everybody in
guys
the
where this
community calls.
Got it.
What were you saying, Magdalena?
This was designed at POAPathon. I just wanted to let you guys
But
know.
of course. And I think he said it was like 38 extra pounds in his bag to get those there.
Yeah, I can imagine. Before we wrap this up, can I do one more resource shout out?
Sure thing.
You've been talking about the You've Met Me POAPs, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but I already posted it in the chat. There's this website, POAPs.agency. I'll paste it again for anybody that missed it. And this is a paid service, so I'd just like to put that out there. It is not free. But they do allow you to easily make a You've Met Me POAP for yourself using your own picture, or you have the opportunity for them to create a graphic for you. It makes it nice and simple.
Yes, can I say about the POAP booth at the East Acre Gathering? I know that we talked about it a good amount last week, but I really think that it's cool that somebody wants to continue that, because it really was neat. You got to create an appointment, and whenever it was your turn, you got to go and look at some templates of designs. You got to pick what you wanted your avatar to look like, and then they placed it on a background, and then they helped you figure out a method of distribution. And it was very well done, and I'm excited that somebody wants to at least continue that and have it be a service available in other events.
I'm happy about that too, because it really improves the whole experience of the event, being able to have those exchanges with everyone that you meet.
Yes, and seeing the joy in people's eyes whenever they finally make their POAP and they get it going and ready to share, and they share their first mint link, you just see it in their face and their eyes. They're like, yes, I'm doing the thing, and it's really fun to see.
It's fun receiving POAPs, but it's also fun giving them away.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's a huge plus.
But all right, Defi Dude, did you have anything else for the spotlight?
No, I mean, I do have some, but like they're just, yeah, I kind of explained it. I'll share one of them was for like the Rocket Pool team is, again, it's just you've met something. But the reason I wanted to highlight these is just because, as I mentioned, it was just really cool that POAP has reached the point where it's like every booth in Amsterdam pretty much had a POAP. That it was like front and center, a huge piece of paper, like claim your POAP. And it's just really cool to see from like, years ago where it's like you hope there's a POAP, and yet it's so slim chance that like, for even some events, like big events. And yeah, so that's all from me.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much for a wonderful spotlight, Defi Dude. But okay, we have run a few minutes over the hour. Is there any other last remarks that anybody on the panel would like to say before we wrap up?
POAPathon's website had been bricked, and it has been unbricked. So if any of you have been trying to access POAPathon's design services over the last 2.5 weeks, which is an absurd amount of time for a website provider to allow their web service to be bricked, website provider. But yeah, we finally were able to make contact with them via the only source they had online, and have had our website opened back up. So POAPathon.com is back up and running, and all of POAPathon's design services are also back up and running. So
All right.
we've expanded our design services as well.
They weren't really down though. All you had to do was go to our Discord and request it.
True. You had to figure out how to get into our Discord. However,
we've been training people for months to go to POAPathon.com, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had to research the way to get to POAPathon's Discord that isn't readily available, but the website is back up, and we now offer not just POAPs but all kinds of other things. So and it's pretty cool.
All right. Is there anything else anybody needs to say before we go?
Just how to get their POAPs.
Get whose
Call.
POAPs?
For being in this call.
Okay, excellent.
My POAP, and I want it now.
All right, so let me go ahead and explain that then. So, of course, we distribute a POAP after every single call. Are we able to do that now, Logic Beach? Have you made sure that the bot has ended its event?
It has ended, and I am uploading the links now.
All right, great. So,
Might take a few seconds, but yeah, go ahead.
no problem. So, let me explain how this works, everybody. So, you're going to go here on Discord, in this POAP official Discord. You're going to go to the POAP claim channel. On my screen, it's the channel that's under this one, Community Calls. You're going to go in there, and you're going to type /. Again, that's /. That is the button next to the right shift on your keyboard, and it has a question mark on top of it. You're going to type /claim. That is CLAIM. And you're going to press enter. And then DGenBot will give you a mint link, and you will follow that mint link, and you will mint your POAP as normal, either reserving it to your email, using your public key, or you're going to put in your ENS domain. And there you go. Just like every other POAP, it'll be in your gallery waiting for you. Again, that is in the POAP claim channel, /claim. But okay, that's going to be it from us this week. Thank you, everybody, for coming on the show. Amazing as always. That one felt very nonstop. In fact, it was so nonstop, we went 10 minutes over.
Yeah, your hosting is getting better every week, so I'm really enjoying it. You're doing a great job, and you're growing really quickly. So congratulations.
Hanni, I get an upside down POAP now.
But all right, everyone.
I wish it worked that way.
Have a great rest of your evening or night or morning wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you guys.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.